Let me show you how I make my fitted trousers. That works for me every time. Now let's take our measurements. To begin, we'll take our waist measurements, our hip measurements, and our thigh measurements. You can take your crotch length measurement as well for reference, and also your hip depth, but I'm not using my hip depth. I'll tell you why. To begin, we are going to draw a line 2 inch below our paper edge at the top. Will come down 2 inches and connect it to form a straight line. This line is going to serve as our waistline. We don't want to start from the edge because we will need to make future alterations at the back. So from that line, we are going to take in our vertical measure, waist to hip and waist to crotch. But the distance between my crotch and my hip line is very small. The difference is 1 inch. That's too small for you to get smooth curves. So what I'm going to do is at the crotch line, I'm going to come up by 2.75 to serve as my hip line. If you are someone with a bigger hip, you can go beyond that, but make sure you don't exceed 3.5. The gap should be 2.75 and then to 3.5. Now I'm going to label my lines. The top line is my waistline, my hip line, and my crotch line. Now on the hip line, you're going to mark your hip width. That's your hip divided by 4, then you minus a quarter inch. Once you mark that, you are going to join it to form center front line. Now after doing this, we are going to get our crotch extension. I got mine by dividing my hip by 18, then I inputted it on the crotch line. Now we are going to mirror the same thing on the hip line. So on the hip line from the center front, you come out by the same value, the 2.3. Now after doing this, take note of these values I wrote. My hip is between 40 to 45, so I'll be using 4.7 inches. This we are going to distribute between the front and the back. Is going to determine how wide our crotch width is going to be. So for my 4.7, what I'll do now is I'm going to take 46% of it for the front and then take 54% of it for the back. So I'm going to multiply 4.7 by 0.46 to get my front value. When I multiplied it, I got 2.1 something. I just rounded that up to give me 2.2. So on the crotch tip where I ended, okay, I'm going to measure in 2.2 here. You realize that it leaves a gap between the center front line and that point. Measure the amount of that gap and come to the side of your pattern and measure it in. So which means that that gap that was left there is adding to our hip measurement. If we leave it there, it's going to make our front big, so we have to come and subtract it from the side. Afterwards, we'll find the midpoint of this line and then we are going to connect it like you see me do. Make sure it's passing through the points that we made up to the crotch tip. After that, you come to your crotch line from the end of the crotch extension, that's the tip, and you measure in from the tip. You measure in your thigh measurement wherever it ends. It's not going to be full. Wherever it ends, then you are going to just connect it back to my hip line at the point we came in. Take note of that. Then I'll go to my center front at the waistline and then I'll measure in my waist divided by 4. Then I just added 1 inch for that. Then connect it with a curve back to my hip line and you should have your shape forming already. Now I'm going to go ahead and create my dart. So I'm going to measure from my center front, my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then I'll connect that into a straight line. Then afterwards, I'll come down 3.5 inches for my dart length. Then I'll distribute that 1 inch that I added for my dart intake. Then I'll distribute it half on each side of the line. Then blend it back to my darts, the end of my darts. Okay. After this, you see that tie line, we are going to measure it and then find the midpoint of it. Okay. From that midpoint, we are going to draw a straight line downwards, but before we get a straight line, we'll just come to the edge and measure the same thing that we had at the top, at the bottom part of the paper, so that we'll be able to connect it to get a straight line. But regardless, it's still the midpoint of your tie. Now from the beginning of my pattern, that's my waistline, I'm going to measure down my waist to knee. Now after marking our knee measurements, we will just mark it on another part of the paper so that we'll be able to join them to get a straight line. I'll just connect that, and that will become my knee line. For my front knee measurements, I'll be taking my knee measurement divided by 2, then I'll subtract 1 from it. The results I'll divide by 2 and put half of it at each side of the line. I'm just going to connect the side knee to the side hip, or side crotch, sorry, and then the inseam, I'll connect the 2 points as well. Now just blend your hip if you notice you have sharp edges. Now on the crotch line, I'm going to just connect it or extend it all the way to the other end of my paper. I'll do the same for the hip line, but then for now I'll hold on with that, and I'll go ahead and connect the waist line all the way to the other side of the paper as well. This is where we are going to be creating our back. Now on that crotch line we extended, you want to start from the side of our front pattern and measure out your entire thigh measurement on that line, and you're going to do the same on the waist using your thigh measurement. Now connect those 2 points, and then you get your side back. That is the point we are going to start constructing our back from. From there, measure in your hip measurement. For the back, you divide your hip by 4, and then you add a 1/4 inch. Now you join a straight line to create your center back. This is where we will be extending our hip line into the back. Okay, you extend it all the way to the hip line, to the side of the pattern. Now from here, that 4.7 we got, we are going to stand on the beginning of our curve on the front. Okay, we will start like just the way you see me do. 4.7, you place that 4.7 mark in there and allow it go into the back pattern. Yours doesn't have to go in. This is what my measurement demands. So at the waistline, you come in by 3/4 as well, then connect those 2 points. This is starting to give you that scoop for your back. Then from here, we can just use our curve. Use the curviest part because your back side is usually more curvy than the front. We'll go ahead and then extend beyond our waistline 1 inch. Then we'll measure out our waist measurement. Here, my waist measurement, I'll add 1 inch for that as well. Just place the tape measure the way I slanted it, okay, so that you slope it back to the original waistline. You'll notice at the hip line we also have extra there that we've taken in, meaning we've eaten into the hip of our back. We have to replace that, else it will create tightness. You see how this works? Then we are just going to take our curve and then connect from our waist to that point, and then from that point we'll draw it back to our crotch point. Like that. I have a sharp edge, so I'm just blending it in. It looks this way because I have saddle back, so I have pointed hips. Now we are going to find the midpoint of that crotch line as well, just as we did for the front, and then draw a vertical line. Then we are going to connect to get our knee line. The processes are almost identical to the front. It's just the values that are different. Now for our knee line, remember we are doing our knee divided by 2, then we'll add 1 inch and connect it back to our crotch line, and then we'll connect our inseam line as well. Now we are going to create our darts. To create our darts, we are simply going to take the midpoint of our waistline right now, and then whatever the value is, stand on another part of the line and then draw it, because your darts should be slanted at the end of the day. When you sew it, it's going to straighten out. Now on that line, we'll spread our 1 inch dart allowance, so 1/2 inch on each side of the line. For our back dart, we are going to be using 5 inches. The back dart is usually longer than the front dart. After this is done, your pattern is done. You can go ahead and then measure along your crotch curve. My crotch length is 29, and I'll be taking my band width as out of it. So if I'm taking 1.5 inch for my band, so front and back will be 3 inches. So what I should have here should be at least 26 inches. When I measured, I got 25.75. This is almost 26 inches, so it's fine. I'll leave it as is. If it's not, I'll do another video on how you adjust your crotch. Now sometimes you get ripples on the front due to various reasons that causes pulling across your hip. So this 1 inch I'm just dropping is meant to counter that effect. So I'll drop in 1 inch and then blend it back to my waist measurement, or to my waist at the side, and your pattern is done. After I'm done drafting, I take a look at my patterns and see if it makes sense. So the front is supposed to be shallow than the back, but it doesn't have to be too shallow, because if it's too shallow, you end up getting excess fabric in the front. And so what I did with mine is, because I looked at it and it's a little too shallow, so I went in to create a slight curve, not too much, just a slight curve to make it a little deeper. Now when you are cutting your waist out, you make sure you close your darts before you cut them, because if you don't, you end up getting a funny looking shape, not one with smoothness like you expect. Now I went ahead to cut my pattern on my fabric. You notice how I just extended the knee line straight to my hem, because this is a straight fitted pant. One thing I'll advise is to create your notches, because this helps you align your pants well so you don't lose balance when sewing. So notch the hips of your front and back, you notch the knee line at the side, and then you notch at the inseam as well. This helps when you are bringing them together to sew. Now go ahead and mark your darts on your fabric. To get the apex mark, I just lift it. I put a pin in there and just lift it and mark where the pin is. Now I'm just going to take my fabric and then go to the sewing machine. So I sewed my darts. What I'm going to do next is I'll put my front down, right side facing up, and then put my back pants on top of it, right side facing down. This way you are putting right side to right side, and then you align your notches, pin them. This is the importance of notches. So you pin them at the hip and then at the inseam and the side. This way when you are going to sew, you know exactly where meets where. So I'll go ahead. So go ahead and sew the inseam and then the side. Now I've sewed mine and then I've knitted, or I've overlocked it. I'll just turn it back to the right side. I'll do the same for my other leg. It's right or left, I can't tell from this video. Then what you're going to do is take the crotch, okay, the inseam line, match the inseam line of one leg to that of the other leg, and then you pin. Then from there you just pin all the front all the way to the waist, and then the back you pin all the way to wherever you want your zipper to stop. Then I went ahead to sew it. After sewing it, I also overlocked it. Okay, so after this, I am going to cut out my band. But before that, I'll measure my waist, measure it around to be sure that you have your exact waist measurement, because sometimes your pattern can lose or gain more length in the sewing process. So mark it to be sure. If you have more than your waist, go to the side seam and then take that extra and blend it back to the hip. Now I'll just cut a strip. I'm making my band 1.5 inch, so I'll cut 4 by 28 because my waist is 27 plus 1 inch for allowances, so 28. I'll just cut that out and then I stiffed it and I just pinned it around my waist measurement, my waistline. Then I went to sew it and knitted it. Then I just fixed my zipper and my pants is done at this point, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe and like to help sister grow. Thank you for watching. Bye.